Get in here, get in here, get in here. Oh my gosh, we have a heavy conversation today. Happy Sunday, everyone. My allergies have been literally lighting up, and I'm going to be scratching my eyes, scratching my scalp, all that. But anyway, happy Sunday, Gym Nation. I am happy to bring some updates to you, but I'm also feeling away at the same time, y'all. We in danger. We in danger, y'all. Project 2025 is here. It is also known as that big B bill, break black people's back bill. And for someone who didn't know anything about Project 2025, when we go over what that document outlines versus what this document outlines, very, very similar. And so I don't have the light on today. If it's bothering you, let me know. But it's a yellow light. I don't like the way it looks. But anyway, let me first say hey to everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Gym Nation. I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. This channel, we talk all things wellness, travel, and finances from a cultural perspective, from a Black person's point of view. My goal for this year is to build community, a huge community, so we can keep each other updated, so we can keep each other abreast of what's going on, because things are happening swiftly. I am actually going to start off by showing a video that we went over in November. November of 2020. It might have been December. We'll see in a second. Of 2024, about the exact topic that I'm talking about today. And so let me remove this from the screen. Hopefully, if you were part of those conversations, then you have started to prepare. If you're new to this channel, then you will begin to prepare. And I ask that you subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we are going to build a community where we lean on each other, we inform each other. This isn't just about me talking and sharing, it's about the entire community pitching in, because that is what we're going to need. I'm going to say hi to everyone in a second, but let me just go ahead and share this video that, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I just want you to get a sense of, I'm in this for the long game, and this is not a joke to me. And although I learn about certain things with the world, I also was blessed enough to work in an industry called media, where I have some back-end intel. And even though I can't always share exact details without it being obvious where the information is coming from, I will share as much information, and especially if it's important, timely information, to this community as possible. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying literally to build this community to 50K before the end of this year. If you're not subscribed, and if I find out who you are and you're benefiting from this information, it's going to be hell to pay. So this video was done 7 months ago too. So November of last year. And the title of it is Black People, It's Okay to Bounce. Let's review our future and what it will look like. Again, another video that I could have literally done today. And if you saw yesterday's video, I showcased another video that I highlighted another video, live video that we did in November last year. November last year started the Project 2025 series, Everything We Need to Know as a Community. Look for the Stay Ready playlist. Find that information. It's still relevant today, as you will see in a second. So let me just make sure. Yeah, so you can see that screen. Let me enlarge it, and let's get into it. Holton. Good morning, Kim. I too made sure I got my social security card, passport, military records. I told y'all I watch on a very fast speed, 1.75. Listen, lying is not part of this community, so let me slow it down so y'all can hear it. But when I watch things back, I told y'all, watch it 1.75. If you're coming later to this live, watch it at 1.75. Get through the information quicker. Get the meat. Oh, thank you, Timothy Pearson. Great, good morning, great information. Good morning to you too. I'm working literally on 5.5 hours of sleep in 2 days, so I am completely tongue-tied and dehydrated. Cheryl Holton. Good morning, Kim. I too made sure I got my social security card, passport, military records, thank you, etc. from the federal government. Made sure I told family and friends they should do the same. Thank you for bringing that up, Cheryl. Any documentation that you need that the any branch of the federal government is in control of, get that now. I also have a plan to produce accountability workbook, which helps you keep track of all of these things. And it's in by setting like weekly goals. And what I've noticed, because I use the same book with my Investing for Independence community accountability group, within 4 weeks, you will have accomplished more than you ever thought you will surprise yourself as long as you stick to the plan and make the plan work for you. And so, yes, by the end of this year, I would say try to put all of those requests in for those documents, even if you don't get them by the end of the year, because even though there's a process for him to make changes, there will be a halt in certain things. And as soon as people can lose their jobs in the federal government, they will. And that will cause a bottleneck and a backlog. And so, yes, that I'm so happy to hear that you are, staying ready so you don't have to get ready. And not only you doing it, but telling friends and family. Building supermax prisons, yes, stock is way up. Driving while walking, driving while walking, while breathing, while parole may not cause prisoners work for 3 cents. Parole maybe not cause prisoners work for 3 cents. Oh, yeah, that's free labor. 3 cents is free, right? You work 5 days, that's 15 cents. That's free labor. And that's what prisons were designed for post slavery. So he wants to make America great again. He has been shouting this from the rafters since day one before he took office. When he first came on the scene, he wants to make America great again. And there's like 70 million people that do too. Listen, I could have done this video today. The concentration camps are here. We in danger, y'all, especially the ones that's not paying attention to what's going on. The federal cuts are here. Project 2025 is what we were talking about. Now we're talking about the big break Black and brown people's back bill that is signed and already portions of the provisions are being implemented. So again, I want us to come in community. I'm on this 7-day get us back up to speed in the Stay Ready movement so we don't have to get ready. We are going to discuss a different topic every day. We've already talked about what it means as far as deportation and immigration enforcement and how it is going to really start to affect more than just who y'all originally, and when I say y'all, I don't mean you, I mean y'all originally thought it was going to affect. It's going to affect Black and brown people who are naturalized citizens. And we're going to go over exactly what that looks like in a second. And I'm going to pull up one of the documents that also addresses, well, we went over it in November, but it also addresses exactly what is happening now. And so okay. I'm going to just show you the document, and then I'm going to pull it up separately so we can read it together. I'm going to show you the video where I discussed this document way back when, y'all, way back in November, 7 months ago. I think it was November 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. So we are almost 8 months in. And so let me just share this video, and y'all put in the gym. I mean, put the diamonds and the gems in the comment section to let me know if you've been part of the Gym Nation since last year. The more gems you put in, the longer I know you've been part of the family. And all it takes to become part of the Gym Nation is to subscribe to the channel. That is it. Then I want you to like the videos, of course, because it helps the algorithm, which is, not the friendliest to this type of content. It helps this information get out to more people who are like you, who watch the type of information you watch. So let me just go ahead and share this video real quick. And I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I just want you to, for those of you that are new, I'm not. I am not new to this. So let's go ahead and watch this together. And how come it's not showing me? 1 second. So Moni's the only one that's been part of the Gym Nation all this time. See, I'm doing all this work. I asked y'all to do one thing. I asked y'all to do one thing. Well, I did ask y'all to subscribe if you're not here and like, but most of y'all are already subscribers. I asked y'all to let me know, one, if you've been part of the Gym Nation and how long, by putting the number of diamonds. If I don't start getting more action, then I am going to only share this with my private communities. Like literally, this is research, this is work, this is not a game with me. And so I'm not going to get too emotional, but if I ask you to do something simple, just please appease me. I ain't asking for no money, not right now. I ain't asking for no money, but and I'll never just come out and ask you for money. But if I have a product, you could please support that if you choose to. That's okay. If you can't answer, Christine, I know you are all about the action and you help me out so much. So please, I appreciate that. But let me just go ahead and share this video. I had to take a moment, y'all, because I cannot not have people respond. That is like, I'm talking to myself, and that's no bueno, no bueno. Okay, so let me this up and share this real quick. Okay. Share screen. And this is the document we're going to go over a little bit more in detail so that y'all can see that this man was playing no games, and we're going to see how it aligns with the BBB. So the big bill versus Project 2025, is there any difference? And especially when it comes to us as Black Americans, that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, let me remove my. So let's just go ahead and go through some of the highlights. Now, this is going to be another part of the series. We are going to be breaking down this document because I think once people hear those videos, see the actual written words, that it may add some sense of urgency for them to get their house in order by doing all the things that we talked about, from the passport to getting your paperwork to having an exit strategy to finding affordable places to live to finding affordable health places with countries with healthcare. So hopefully these will add urgency. So let's just talk about some of the key issues as it relates to housing, lending, and tech. And what I want you to, when we go through this, all of these, there's a common thread of racism. There's a common thread of sexism. There's a common thread of ageism throughout these initiatives and this framework. So let's just see, despite America's founding principles of liberty and justice for all, there are those that would prefer non-democratic, strict I'm smart, y'all. Hierarchies based on race, gender, religion, and wealth. Blame it to my 5-hour and 2 days sleep brain. Project 2020. Okay, let's go ahead and just pull up the document again, and we are going to read this, what the summary is, the overview is, I should say, together, and then we're going to compare it to what is literally happening in real time. So let's start this again. Does anyone remember this document? I shared it. There's a free link. There's a free copy on my Beacons page. If I remember, I will try to reinsert it again in the description. If I forget and you want it, this is where you can find it. The National Fair Housing Alliance has prepared several fact sheets to explain the harm Project 2025 would do. Back and remove that. Okay. Ebad first to tap in. Hey, Ebad, good to see you. Hey, ABX girl, good to see you. What's up, Kevin? Happy Sunday. Good to see you back. Oh, the lighting is cool. Thank you. Hey, Creative Flavor and Travel. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hey, Moni, good to see you back. What's up? I say, and buenos dias from Bogota. Good to see you. LJ has been riding hard with the Gym Nation, from the flawless community to the MAGA community. She just did our 28-day accountability challenge. I'm sure I'm missing something or another, but again, thank you for being about that action. And she's currently scouting in Bogota, Colombia, because she's about that action and she's been paying attention. And not only has she been paying attention, she is a vital contributor to what is happening. And she has an open invitation, because that's part of the 28-day challenge. We may be hearing from LJ very soon. She has her own channel, but when she's ready to let me share, or you could drop the link in, LJ, and I'll make sure it gets reposted if you want people to follow, and I'll talk more about it if you drop the link in. Cynthia is another member of multiple communities in the Flawless family. I mean, in the Gym Nation family. So thank you for supporting. And she also has a YouTube channel for fourth quarter storytellers. So if you are in that second phase, I don't like to call it fourth quarter, but that's her story. If you're in the second chapter, because it's a 2-chapter book, that's what I'm calling it. If you're in the second chapter, go ahead and follow her. Yeah, listen, if I'm taking notes, I usually just do it 1.75. If I don't need to take notes, yes, 2 times speed, exactly. So these are my OG Gym Nation members since 2024. That's right. I'm driving up, Christine, like I said, no apologies from you at all. You're dropping gems for each month. Yes. Listen. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. Because y'all know I could talk, child. I always say, oh, we not gonna be here a long time. I look up, it's hour 15 minutes later. But anyway, since November, yes, my OGs. 1.5. Okay. Kevin, you've been around since like November, December, because I remember you've been around for a minute. So you need to add some more gems to that. You have subscribed since 2024. When I first started, you usually view in replays due to your schedule. And just listen, however you get the information, get it. And I only ask that you please share, because this type of topic is not going to get the push out that my health topics get, or even my financial topics that are not to educate at this level. So please share this information. You recall the document. Wait a minute, where did my sound go? Can you hear me now? Oh my gosh, I don't know where I lost you guys, but anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, there is a storm here. I hope that's what it was, and it wasn't this platform. I'm so sorry, y'all. I don't know what y'all heard last. So yeah. Yep. That's probably it. Yeah, I'm in Myrtle Beach, so the storm is pretty much, I mean, it's still raining and cloudy. Hey, Jackie's Journey. I don't know what happened, but let's just get into the topic. And okay, let's just get back into the topic at hand, and let's go over the goals, that the top goals that we talked about. Hopefully you can hear me. Please put a yes, one person, or all I need is one person to say you can hear me now. I do see my Wi-Fi isn't on full. That's interesting. Okay, great. Y'all can hear me. Okay, so let's talk about the areas that we just were talking about that were affected with this bill. I'm not going to share the screen because I don't know what's going on with my sound and stuff like that. Let me just close these windows that from the replays. Okay. Yeah, I may have. Yeah, it could have had something to do with me replaying those videos. So let me just close these. But okay, I think we should be good. If you've been taking action, do me a favor, please, please, please put it in the comment section what action you have been taking. I would love, 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 love to hear. Okay, and now we're going to get into exactly what has been going on. This is so interesting. Okay, here we go. I thought they deleted my information, child. So we're going to talk about the impact of Black America based on the document that we just went over. And so the goals we're going to go through, and then we're going to go through exactly what was proposed in the BBB. And then we're going to talk about how the BBB supports the goal, or if it hasn't yet, made any real provisions or laws to change. So we talked about how they want to gut checks and balances. Well, what happened? Or what was proposed? To centralize power in the presidency, fire civil servants at will, weaponize DOJ and FBI. The BBB expands executive hiring, firing powers, and restructures DOJ oversight, weakening institutional checks. If you paid attention to anything in the past couple of months, you know that has been slowly but surely happening. But now this BBB has made it legal. Let's go on to the next goal of Project 2025. Minimize access to fair and affordable housing. What was proposed? To eliminate anti-discrimination protections in housing, appraisal bias rules, and HUD equity mandates. If y'all don't know, that has been a thing. It was a thing with Redline. It's been a thing. Then we got some legal protections to make sure we were treated fairly and not discriminated against in these areas. And guess what the BBB does? It defunds HUD equity programs. It limits funding for the FHA, single family reforms, and pauses all HUD investigations related to discrimination. Retreat from fair lending. That was a goal. We just went over it in summary, but that was one of their top goals. So now, the Project 2025 proposed abolishing the CFPB, cut special lending protections, and end fair lending enforcement. What did the BBB do? It slashed the CFPB budget by over 60%, eliminates enforcement of special purpose credit programs. Next on the 2025 agenda, turn back the clock on racial equity. What was the proposal? To limit DOJ's role in civil rights, remove equity plans from federal agencies, and restrict anti-discrimination mandates. What does the BBB do? Legally, they repeal agency equity mandates, bans funding for DEI offices, and weakens Title VI enforcement at DOJ. And we can, you can look that up. You can look up, if you didn't understand an acronym, again, for the sake of time, let's just go through it. You know what it's associated with. You can look it up. If you don't know what DOJ is, because I know I'm speaking in a lot of acronyms. If you don't know what HUD is, if you don't know what FHA is, look it up when you get a chance, or while we're on this. Let's go to the next goal of Project 2025, attack LGBTQ plus identity. We talked about that a second ago. What was the proposal? To roll back protections against sexual orientation, gender identity discrimination. The BBB cuts Title IX funding tied to the LGBTQ plus protections and restricts grant eligibility for inclusive curricula. Next up, as part of Project 2025, they want to discriminate against immigrants. What was the purpose, the summary of that purpose? Remove protections for non-citizens in housing, lending, and expand mass deportations. What does the BBB do? Oh, well, ICE funding expansion. We already talked about the billions upon billions of dollars that are going towards ICE funding. Remove housing access for undocumented individuals, and raises deportation quotas significantly. This is all part of the BBB. And there's more that goes under that we talked about 2 days ago. So go to that live. You'll get more detail about exactly what that enforcement, deportation enforcement is expected to look like, including over 1 million deportations per year. Okay, let's go to the next goal, eliminate climate change initiatives. Listen, we're already talking about that, and I'm hoping my audio, because I'm not on that screen. Let me just make sure y'all can hear what I'm saying. Okay, good. Y'all can hear what I'm saying. Perfect. Let's get back to eliminate climate change initiatives. Like I said, we are seeing what is going on in Texas. We are seeing what's happening here in the Myrtle Beach area and the Southeast, let's just say, coastal. Now I think it's a little more inland with this last minute storm that popped up literally the day before it hit. The summary of the purpose was to end objective weather data collection and stop using climate data for policy. That's already begun. You're not going to tell me any different. And what does BBB do? We talked about this as well. Was it yesterday? It eliminates NOAA climate research funding and rescinds the DOE climate modeling programs used in housing planning. And we in danger, y'all. We in danger, and I'm only laughing because they wasn't playing. They wasn't playing with this document. When people were sitting up here commenting on everybody who was trying to share what was going to happen, they called us fearmongers. Matter of fact, in 2016, Kamala Harris was in Myrtle Beach, and I assisted with her campaign, so to speak. This was before she wasn't running for president, but I'm going to start today releasing snippets from that speech. When I tell you, she has been sounding the alarm about what was coming down the pike. It didn't just start when she was running for president, right? It started a long time ago. And I was listening to it yesterday when I was saving my Facebook lives. And Lord, she's been trying to warn us that this was not a game, but so many of us didn't think this could happen, and especially not with that person, and especially not as quick as it did. But we were all mistaken. And then also, let's talk about abandoning AI guardrails and weaponized data. What was the purpose? To repeal civil rights protections in AI, weaponize racial data against marginalized groups. What does the BBB do? It strips civil rights language from AI oversight, defunds equity audits of government algorithms, and broadens government surveillance tools. When I tell y'all we need to be in community live like this, and when I say live like this, we're still on a platform that can censor whenever they want to, but at least this gives us a jump start on us finding other ways to commune if we need to. This AI passage is going to hurt us more than anybody. And so let's summarize what the threat is. The BBB operationalizes many of the ideas in Project 2025 by using budget and policy levers to suppress equity and deregulate enforcement bodies. Understand, Project 2025, Agenda 47 was the blueprint. The BBB is the legislative muscle, translating what was abstract before, those abstract goals, into enforceable policy shifts, y'all. We in danger, y'all. We in danger. And that's why I wanted to do the comparison, because there's still too many people that don't believe that this BBB is the same as the PJ25. People they still have their heads in the sand. And so let's just talk about the summary of the threat to Black, Brown, LGBTQ, and marginalized communities. The BBB, paired with the ideological goals of Project 2025, represents a coordinated effort to roll back civil rights, dismantle equity protections, and centralize powers in a way that disproportionately harms marginalized communities, especially Black and Brown Americans. Child. When you consolidate power and undermine democracy, you strip away checks and balances by empowering the president to fire civil servants and weaponize federal agencies like the DOJ and FBI. We see that already taking place. We saw what happened in California. That's expected to expand, especially now with the funding, the actual funding to support. Also, eroding legal protections by sidelining departments tasked with enforcing civil rights and equity laws. Then talking about dismantling fair housing and lending. Eliminate anti-discrimination protections in housing and lending. Defund agencies like HUD and the CFPB that protect consumers from biased practices. Cut access to affordable housing for immigrants and low-income families, Black and Brown people, right? Then the rollback of This is all a summary, y'all. Then the rollback of racial equity, remove equity requirements from all federal agencies. So those are gone, y'all. Those are gone. There are no, excuse me, y'all. I told y'all my allergies are like crazy. And then I'm allergic to paint too. So I'm really having a time in here. Excuse me. Ban funding for diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI programs, reduce enforcement of anti-discrimination laws in education, healthcare, and finance. We in danger, y'all. Target immigrants and LGBTQ communities. They're funding mass deportation efforts in a way like no other, and expanding detention infrastructure. We see that happening with what's going on in Florida, which is expected to ramp up in at least the red states. I'm sure some bought and paid for blue states, which may not really be blue states, will follow. Purple states, we in danger, y'all. Restrict civil rights protections for the LGBTQ plus individuals and redefine federal protections around a narrow version of the traditional family. Do me a favor, if you think this is going to affect you and your family, put in the chat, let me see, just put in, this is bad. Or we in danger. Put in we in danger, or just put danger. Whatever you can type in. Just let me know that y'all are feeling exactly where we're headed. And then silencing climate and tech accountability. So they want to, they're going to kill data collection on climate change and weather events, making it harder to plan for disaster relief in vulnerable communities. The crazy thing is, it's not just going to happen in vulnerable communities, it's going to happen in other communities too. But our recovery, when I say our Black and brown people and impoverished people, will have the hardest time recovering and bouncing back. They're also going to remove protections against biases in artificial intelligence, allowing for unchecked discrimination in policy, hiring, lending, and surveillance. Let me just give you what happens to me now on Facebook. If I post anything in one of my business pages that says Africa, Black people, blah, 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 I get a notification saying that my post will not be shared because it does not meet their standards, and it will get no views. This already in place, because we also know where, FB and IG, where they stand, and who they stand with. So what's the conclusion? This is not just about conservative governance. This is a structural reordering of American power that is going to reduce civil liberties, voting rights, and economic opportunities for millions. Criminalize and surveil vulnerable communities under the guise of reform. Widen racial and economic inequities in housing, healthcare, education, and safety. We in danger, y'all. We in danger, y'all. And so that AI, it's also going to be a way for information to be suppressed. So all of what they deem as critical race theory can easily be swiped. There's a whole campaign on another, the toppers, about these AI shorts that are showcasing Black people in the most humiliating way. And they're AI generated. It's not even real people or real stories. There are bots or people that don't look like us creating these stories to make us look like we're less than, like animals, literally. And there's nothing that we're going to be able to do about it. So I wanted to bring in the real of what's going on today, as it relates to the BBB and their initiative to make America great again, and how it compares to the blueprint that we've been talking about for the past 7, 8 months, y'all. And if you're new to this community, please go ahead, hit that like button. Go ahead, share this video with your friends, family. I'm going to also try to, edit it so it's not as long. We're only at 46 minutes right now, but I definitely want us all to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. And so please do yourself a favor. Don't hold this in, and find ways that you can start your protections now based on all of the items. Oh, we can easily go over the ones, that's what I wanted to do, the ones that have yet to be made into law, but we can expect them to come, because their goal in Project 2025 was a total ban on abortion and contraceptions with no exception. Now, that's not included in the BBB right now, but trust and believe, they have the numbers on their side. These executive orders are coming fast and furious. They're stripping away any powers from any of the other federal government arms that could have provided checks and balances. So this ain't over. What else? They want to end marriage equality, promote only traditional families, condemn single mothers, and end no-fault divorce. So let me just tell you, if you're planning on getting a divorce, you should have started in November when we talked about it. But listen, now is the time, because we don't know how much time it's going to take them to come up with an executive order and or a law for marriage and family reform, right? And so when it comes to education and cultural wars, what has not happened yet, 100%, but we know they're talking about a complete elimination of Department of Education. Department of Education is still funded, even though there have been some cuts, but we know they're looking to completely eliminate it. Public funding for private religious schools hasn't been completely dismantled yet, but we know that's on the Project 2025 blueprint. Teach Christian religious beliefs in public schools on the blueprint. Ban African American and gender studies. Why is it just African American? Why? Like, we know why, but it's not other cultural, historic, cultural history education. Ban books and curriculum about slavery. Eliminate DEI protection, civil rights offices. They've scaled back, but it's not completely eliminated across the board. When it comes to healthcare and elder services, raise the retirement age, cut Social Security, cut Medicare. We know that there's a healthcare reform with Medicaid that is part of the BBB. Medicare is not specifically called out, but it will be tied to. Raise prescription drug prices. We already know defunding the FBI, Homeland Security. Now, Border and Department of Homeland Security funding has been increased. So that, but they're only focusing really in one part or a couple parts. They're only targeting a certain set of people. Eliminate FDA, EPA, and NOAA. We know there's been cuts with NOAA. We know there's been cuts across the board, but they're not completely eliminated yet, but that's on their agenda. Promote and expand the capital punishment. That's part of the agenda or their goal. And so again, we in danger, y'all. We in danger. Let me see what y'all are saying, and then see if y'all have any questions. If there's a question, please put the QQQ in front of your question, and we will move on. Okay. Child, I don't know why y'all couldn't hear me. It probably was something good. I'm gonna have to repeat it tomorrow. Oh, when I had the document up that whole time? Wow. Okay. I'll read it at the end. So this was saying y'all can hear me. My audio dropped when I shared the document screen. What should matter? Do you hear? I don't know. Hey, Jackie's Journey. My family and I are relocating to Panama at the end of on the 28th of this month. I remember that you and your beautiful, I think it's 8 of y'all, if I remember correctly, were relocating. I didn't know if you were there already, but yes, listen. I remember when you were in the process and to hear that you can literally reach out and touch that date, that is just amazing. So congratulations. Listen, I could not get enough of hearing about the progress that this group is making. And I know some of you may have started, before coming across. I know some of you started recently. Wherever you are in your journey, like Jackie's journey, I am so happy for you. Please put it in the comment section so I can call you out and celebrate you, because you're inspiration to other people that this can be done. Everyone doesn't feel the same. And, we now have a goldfish attention span. So I appreciate you though, Ebad, but unfortunately, some people need bite-sized pieces. They need nuggets, right? They can't eat the whole sandwich. They need nuggets. You're clearing your homes. Oh, okay, but we'll stop if you put up docs. Clearing out my home, so I'm listening while working. Okay. Thank you. And you could always, like I said, rewatch at a higher speed. Acronym soup is a government spell. Exactly. Thank you, Ebad, because I as someone who lived in DC through college and visits often, you're right. And I cannot even remember to call out the names of all the agencies. So, hey, just one, another About That Action Gymnasium member. I am so happy for all of her progress. Oh, yes, speed it up 2 times, Ebad. Complete white. Mm-hmm. They're making no bones about it. And let me just say, I don't believe that they are able to do this alone. I believe people that we think are on our side ain't really on our side. They are not. We could believe, we could believe, wait. Sorry, Ebad. Is a subset action of Article 47. Mm-hmm. Yep, we in danger, y'all. We are all affected. We are all affected, no matter if you want to put when I see us on platforms talking and still supporting this man, child. Our ancestors who had to fight the good fight are not happy. Yes, Creative Flavors, we in danger and travel. Yes, Cynthia, we in danger, girl. But we are going to stay connected. We are going to stay in community. There's a reason, child, why I'm here remodeling a house now. Because I want people in my family circle who may not realize just how much danger we are in to at least have an option or two if necessary, right? Literally, this is the other thing I wanted to say about community. And let me just read this first, because we're in danger and many in our community are saying we built the US and we're not leaving. They don't even have passports. Yeah. And I feel for those who can't get passports, because there are some restrictions that apply to be able to get passports. So people may have made stupid mistakes in the past, or have things hanging over their head. But what you can get is an enhanced driver's license that can get you across some borders if you drive, right? So get you an enhanced driver's license. Until that doesn't work, we don't know when things could get shut down, but we stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Now, if they decide to pivot during the process, then that's a whole different story. But where I was going with community, we need to think of community like our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents thought of it. I am in a house right now that my parents purchased, which is across the street from my godmother's house. My parents also owned the house next door too. So basically they controlled the community, so to speak. But the house on the other side of that, my mom's best friend from college, and no, her best friend since they were 5 years old. Rest in peace. His house is the house on the opposite side of that. The house over here, my mom and this woman grew up. We're not blood related, but they grew up together. The house behind us, I call her my Gma. She is still here. She's 94. I think she's 94. Brain of a 44-year-old, right? She has no signs of not recalling. I'm about to sit down with her with my recorder and we gonna figure out some health remedies. And I'm speaking to multiple people while I'm here. Let me see who else. Oh, they don't own it anymore, but the house right across the street, directly across the street. So my god sister, whose my godmother bought the house, she's catty corner, but directly across the street was my father's high school football buddy, rest in peace. Someone else bought the house and owns it now. I'm proving the point of they built a community. They found an area in a part of town that was not developed yet and developed it. And there was nothing that no one needed in this community that was not supplied. If someone went to go pick some peas, the whole neighborhood had peas. If someone went to go get some fresh meat from the butcher, everybody on the block had meat. If someone baked a cake, that is the type of community that we're going to have to start refocusing on, because we've gotten so far away from that. But in order to, the saying, the African proverb, if you want to go someplace fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so luckily this community still has, so my mother's best friend from when they were 5 years old, the son still lives in the house. The house next to that is our house. This house, my mother's friend that is right next door, her sons and a daughter just moved back, still live in that house. So this is the reason why I'm keeping these houses. We have a tenant in the one next door, but this one is going to be home base. And it is going to be a place where my community, if I'm not in Mexico, right? Even if I'm in Mexico, this will be a place. I have a brother who lives here, and his house is walking distance, not on a super hot day, but on a decent day. It's about a 7-minute walk away from here. So again, there's power in community, and that's the type of mentality, mindset I want us to have, even when you come into this space. So if I ask, that's why I got so emotional. I'm like, nobody's commenting. It's a simple question, because if y'all can't just put gems in the chat, I'm really concerned about what y'all got to do when it really comes down to, helping people out, right? Helping your brother out, right? And so I just wanted to underscore the importance of community. We're going to talk more about that during one of these sessions. I don't have the schedule. Like I said, I am, child, I got to get back to my contractor in a little while, and it's on a Sunday, right? I'm sure my grandmother's rolling over. But I did want to address tomorrow, the time for tomorrow. We are meeting. Oh, we're going to go through some more comments, but I just want to make sure everyone knows that we are on day 3 of a 7-day stay ready so we don't have to get ready series again, because the last time we did this was back in November. We didn't end until, I want to say, January. But it's time, because we see what's been happening. And a lot of people, again, are not paying attention to what's happening. But I'm going to make sure that at least this week, and as many times as I could go on moving forward, that's what I'm committed to. But I'm 100% committed to today. We met at 12. Tomorrow we will meet at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday, 7/7. Tuesday, 7/8. That's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, 7/9. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We know this is not fear-mongering anymore, and we need to plan accordingly. And so I'm just going to be a vessel to provide information. I'm going to be a vessel to provide community. I will list all the available communities that, I currently have. Right now, the Flawless Gymnasium is on a summer hiatus, but we will have an emergency meeting this month just to make sure we're all good. LJ, Shell are traveling. So I want to make sure everybody's available. But if you're part of Flawless private membership, we will have an emergency meeting this month. And LJ, I'll email you to see your availability, because I know you're staying a little longer. So anyway, community is so important. Let's focus on community building. And let me just share the screen. So you can see the schedule. This is the schedule for, oh, nope, that's not it. Sorry. This is, let me stop sharing this. Remove that. Share screen. I'm scared to share the screen. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. No, you can't. There you go. Here is the schedule for this week. So if you have any questions, turn on your notification. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Comment in the comment section. That also helps this information get out. Again, today was really just to do a comparison about the big bill versus Project 2025, which was the blueprint for the big bill, and to see what the differences were. Because supposedly somebody had no idea, right? Somebody had no idea about this big bill, right? And so, like I said, I'm going to play a little clip of something Kamala said at the very end of this, but let me just see who else is in the community and who has commented. Oh, I see a QQQ. Wait a minute. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I need to increase my screen so I can remove this and see what the comments are. I'm going to go from the bottom just because, but I'm going to get to everybody. You were selling your property and something happened to stop you. You're now renting it instead. Not sure why it happened, but I heard God say ownership. Listen, everybody has to do what's right for them, but I believe in homesteads, right? I grew up in such an abundant community, even in New York. When my parents first moved to Harlem, it was nothing but blood aunts and uncles on 126th Street. Well, technically, they moved to 129th Street with their aunt, my mother's aunt. But then when my father got out the military and he moved, it was nothing but real blood family on 126th Street. Walking distance to multiple other families who came from the South and migrated up north. So I come from community building. That's the only way for us to be okay. And for me, having a homestead in the South, and we are in a diverse community now, so I ain't gonna lie. I didn't mention the people across the street that bought my father's football friend's house. They're not African American. And there's a house next door to them. They're not African American. So the community is diverse, but I will say it's a beautiful community, and I believe God spoke to you for a reason. Which foreign entity owns the most real estate in America? Who is trying to claim the land now? Was it a Canadian company, or it's a European? I forgot. I don't know the answer offhand, but we are going to talk about finances and what we need to be doing as part of the Stay Ready movement this week. So, yeah, I think that's a quick Google search though, Ebad. And if you have the answer, please go ahead and put it in the chat. Hey, AC. Anita Creations, good to see you again. Latasha Jones, what's up? Yes, community is key. Yes, we will stay in community because things are happening too fast not to. It's not like, oh, we got 6 months before anything else happens. No. It's cute. It's like what happened to Japanese families or what? Yep. Oh, so you're answering the question. Yeah, I saw somebody else's question. Child, it's already happening. Think about the people that are being deported that have ownership already, right? Well, once you're gone, you're gone. You have no claims. That's why I'm also saying, oh, there's so much. The paperwork is going to be a conversation this week too, but we kind of went over it. You got to make sure that you have heirs clearly outlined on who should retain ownership should something happen to you. If you trust people enough to put on your bank accounts. My mom had me on, she had me on one, my brother on another. So God forbid something happened to her, we had access. Now we couldn't touch it. There was one brother who was not on any bank accounts because that would have been a problem. But we couldn't touch it. So make sure that you do all the right things so that you mitigate any potential threats and or problems. You don't trust anyone at this point. You know what? I think I need to go the other way because I'm reading back danger. So everybody's saying danger. We in danger. We're in danger. Many of us. Yep. Yeah. People, listen. I mentioned it yesterday. People are going to hunker down. People hunker down in storms, even though you're in the eye of the storm and they're telling you may be blown away, washed away, whatever. There are people that are always going to hunker down. We can't take everybody with us. We can have the conversations, we can stress the urgency, but people have to make their own decisions. And there's a lot of people who have never, ever left this country, so they don't know what living abroad would look like, or even living temporarily abroad would look like. It's too foreign to them. And so I give grace to those people too. And that's why I'm saying have options. That's why this house is being remodeled, because I know there's family members, close family members that would never, ever get on a plane. Right? And so if I need them to leave New York because the roundups are just too intense, they got a place, right? And they don't have to worry. And so, yeah. Got that. Danger. Yes, LJ. You knew that when you were forced back to US in 2018, we'll let you more. And the other thing is, we didn't even talk about birthright citizenship, right? So that's a whole big conversation. But that is also part of one of the main points on Project 2025. I didn't really want to bring it up today because we're bringing it up later in this week in a more detailed, complex way, so people understand what that means. Because people who are being born on military bases to naturalized parents are being deported. So this is a bigger conversation, and I want to share real examples of that. So more about that. Yeah, this is horrific. Yes, it is, y'all, for all Black and brown people. There's a lot of that going on across all media, social media, and there's going to be more. There's going to be more because they have protections now. And that's why, Zuckerberg did that whole press conference. They were moving, they were getting rid of the fact checkers and all of that because our history is about to be dismantled, desecrated, all the D's, right? All the bad D's. That's what's about to happen. Ebeth says, I'm wondering why folks don't go back to where they came from if they don't like it here, a place usually with the majority of high melanated. Because they are entitled. Simple. They feel entitled. Condemn people without children. I don't understand that. Condemn people without children. I don't understand that. Just one. Women are, you're saying from the document from Project 2025. Yes, you're absolutely right. That's part of their, it's part of their blueprint. Women are not having children, and I have been told nobody wants to even date any. Yeah, the youngins are on a whole different timeline, a whole different vibe. People can now start practicing celibacy. It seems like a good time to me. Yeah, whatever people want to do with their bodies, I'm for it. Like I do not favor one over the other. I want people to enjoy the one life they have, but just no consequences and ramifications. Because they hate us, because they know what was done to our ancestors was wrong, and they don't know what to do with the guilt after. It's fear as well. It's not just hate. They fear. We getting too big for our britches, y'all. We have been I'm in the South now. I'm bringing out all the country slang. We were getting too big for our britches, and us with money and power and all the natural beauty, gifts, and talents, they scared. They scared. Many pay Medicaid Part B, but Medicare Advantage help. Yeah. And they're going to be in trouble. Blue states ain't going to be what they used to be. People are going to be flocking from blue states because they will be hit the hardest with that. Yes, 10. Yeah, I remember large family. I love it. Yes, Jackie and Kevin are about to be out of here. Yep. Just joined the live. Seems like you missed a lot. Hey, Lisa. Lisa's another one about that action. Miss Residente Temporal de Mexico as of May. So happy for you too. Again, even if this is my thing, right? Even if you don't plan to move, right? Abroad. Just like I don't plan to move to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. But if I need to, this place will be ready to go. This place has been, one day I may take you on a little, you know what? I may show a before and after because I'm gonna wait for him to finish the work. But yeah, I may not ever move here full-time or permanent. But if I need to, this place will be here, God willing, right? Because we also know what they do to communities when we're thriving. So God willing, but we're not going to put that energy out there. But I was saying, even if you have no desire to move abroad, but you can get residency abroad, why not get it just in case? Then if you have it, they have something called the family reunification program in a lot of countries, Mexico specifically, where if you have children under a certain age, if you have a parent, you can bring them along without going through the whole process that you went through. So it's all about having options. It's not necessarily about acting on the options. It's all about having options. And so that's what I want people to understand. If you qualify to get residency someplace else, go ahead and get it. And then just in case you need to bounce, you could bring people with you as it stands today, because countries can change too. Listen, we are pissing a lot of people off. So I don't know what the future will look like, but it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. It doesn't get any more plain than that. Creative flavors and travel. When these people are deported, what happens to their property? So yeah, I think the ABX girl started answering that. Oh, I don't know what happened, Christine. But yeah, just like what happened on the West Coast in California when they started arresting and putting these people in concentration camps, they lost everything if they didn't have it properly set up to go to somebody else who was not arrested, right? Or was not put in these camps. And then for them to spend, what was it, 10 years plus in these holding facilities to only be found not guilty of doing anything wrong. And then you come out to no house, no finances, and having to start over. That was a pure robbery. And so yeah, that's what happened. And that's why I also say, y'all don't be gathering in places and putting yourselves at risk, because why? Why would you? Why would you? Mona Lisa says you believe. I don't know what I said. I'm sorry. Also, I think, did I get everyone? Yes, like what happened to the Japanese families in World War II. All of their property was confiscated and given away to what? Americans, and same will happen. Yeah, that part. But again, staying in community, making sure you have your documents, your papers right, and how many ever heirs. So the way, like, if you have a will or a trust, you should have at least 5 levels of heirs. Meaning, if this person cannot assume or if they cannot receive whatever properties, then you have this person, and then you have this person, and then you have this person, right? So you have succession. Oh, watch that show, Succession. Didn't I tell y'all The Order, American Insurrection? We're going to have a whole movie theme session for so we can stay ready. But we need succession, and we need to have our paperwork in order. And I showed you books that are very inexpensive, that you can do your whole will, estate planning in that document, in that book that has all the papers, the documents. We'll talk about that when we talk about finances as well. So yes, believe in community. I think I said hi to AC Anita. We talked about that. QQQ. It's Canada that owns most of. Yeah, I thought it was Canada. Most of Canada is owned by England and the British. Thanks for looking that up. Thanks, Ebad. But it changes. So I knew the last time I heard it was Canada, but things change. I don't know if it was now, China. Oh, you're near Charleston. I'm actually going to Charleston. Well, I need to let my contractor needs to let me know when I'm going to Charleston, and then I have to base it on the weather. A friend of mine's, well, I wanted to go to the African American Museum, and then it just turns out someone I know has been appointed some job there, So I'm a tap in with him and see if I can get a special tour, but we'll see. Ethnic cleansing, that is the whole gist. Yep. Make America what again? Absolutely. BlackRock has invested in Invitation Homes, who buys blocks of rental homes in the U.S. cities, thereby discriminating, decimating the home ownership market. Yeah, they started doing that. Not, was it last year or the year before? I can't remember, but yeah, Daddy says it's a poor rat that don't have but one hole. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. God forbid that this country needs major help from Canada and South America and others. The destruction that is foretold according to prophecies in the history books, in the history book, the Bible. Yeah. Listen, I talked about it yesterday, and listen, y'all, I have no shame in my game. I am, I believe in God. I'm a Christian, but I also believe there's a lot of the Bible that was omitted from our learnings. And if you saw the movie Sinners, I did a video about Black women being magical, but it's Black people, and we're real. We have powers, y'all. We have been removed from those powers. We need to tap back into those powers. They made us afraid of the powers that they have. They called it other things so we can not tap in and think we were going against God. And I'll leave it there. And we could have a whole nother private conversation about that, because, that conversation ain't for everybody. And I'm not arguing with nobody about that. So we just need to tap into our gifts that we were bestowed. And I'm telling you, the more quiet you get, the more centered you get, the less confusion and noise that you have in your head, the more it will come to you. I ask for it. When I'm in Mexico and I'm doing the sunrise at the beach every day, again, that's a conversation for another day. BlackRock is an American company, and in Atlanta, they own close to 50% of single-family homes. Child, when I saw what they did in Atlanta with those rents skyrocketed, yeah, the movie The Order was based on a true story. Watch it, and you will see what they had planned from the I forgot the year, but this has been in the works for a very long time, since we were fisting it, right? Since we were out of the fields. Yeah. So if you get a chance, watch The Order. And we'll talk about that later. Canadians are abandoning Florida, so many properties available, but with insurance, it's not worth it. Listen, them insurance prices in Florida, and I got family in Florida. Whoo. And if you can get insured. Some places you can't even get insured. China owns only about 2% of the USA, but Chinese individuals are buying up more land in strategic areas. Yeah. I know they own a good part of the Caribbean, and they're buying more and more of Africa. But yeah, have you opened? Yeah, the calendar's open. Is this for Mexican residency? I talked about that 2 days ago. So listen, y'all. And I say this with all the love and care. I had received multiple requests, about 7, 8 requests in let's say 10 days time, to open my calendar. People wanting to get on my calendar specific to Mexican residency. I am hosting a boot camp. Well, I was hosting a boot camp. The coaching starts this week. I am renovating a house, remodeling a house, I should say. I was only supposed to be here until last week, but because things are just slow, weather was horrible for the first 2 weeks I was here, I will be here a few more weeks. But because I know exactly how important this is to people, I opened my calendar. I will put the link in This is for Mexican residency. If there's something else, you look in the description. I think one-on-ones may be there for other things. If it's not, comment and I'll make sure you get the link. But if you email me again about, if I put the link here and it's in the description and then I send you the link via email, please book a session. Please. That's time. Like I said, I truly, truly value everyone's time, including my own. So I'm going to put the link here again, but the link is accessible through the community tab, through the videos. If you email me because you say you can't find it, I take time to send the link again, and you're still not booking. That's not nice. That's all I'll say. That is not nice. That is so not nice. But I'm going to put the link again for the strategy calls for Mexican residency. It's only open for July right now, and that's simply because, as I told y'all, like, I'm on other people's time. I need to get this house done before I leave. And again, I want to help anyone who wants help. And as y'all can see, since January, I have had at least 8 successful clients get residency. And that's just me, one-on-one. Like, and then I have 2 that wanted to do things their way, but we're going to leave that alone. And then one who's still, I think 1 or 2 that's still trying. So this is for Mexican residency. Sorry. And right now, you're saving $25 if you book. August, they're going back to the regular price because it's not just one session. You get the session, you get the guide, you get a custom blueprint, and then you get one more call before your meeting to make sure you have everything outlined. And you have access. You have my email address if you have questions and stuff. So I just dropped that back and I'm going to pin it right now. Oh, I can't pin it right now. I need to pin it from here. So yeah, so feel free to book and I'm also gonna, if you're interested in just the resource guide, the actual Mexican residency resource guide with the clickable links, which is under $20, you can do that. You could, anything out of residency, is it okay to book as well? Oh, if you need a one-on-one, I'll put that link in there. So there's a whole different coaching, a one-on-one session that I will add. But the price is still the same. So if you want to book now for July, go ahead. Because I don't know if my one-on-one sessions are open. I don't think they are. But you can book the Mexican residency, and then in the questionnaire, you can tell me exactly what it is that you want to do. And then we'll communicate before our one-on-one, and then we can residency guide. Okay, so if you want, anybody wants the guide, I just put that link in there too. I'm going to pin the, you know what, I'll pin the residency guide. I'll pin the one-on-ones when this video is done, and I will have the residency guide in the, well, it's already in the description. But if you want to book a one-on-one for anything else, just use the Mexican residency link, because I have my calendar open. I opened it specifically for that reason, but if you need help with, you know, something else, then go ahead and use that link. But again, I'm serious about this, and I only want people, you know, who really are serious about planning some type of plan, right? Planning the plan and then working the plan, right? It's all about the action, right? Got to be about that action. That's what we say in Gym Nation. And did I get everybody? Let me see. Oh, hey, Siobhan. Good to see you. Yes, please catch the replay. Okay, PJ, you should have the information you need. Thank you, Lisa. Don't forget to like this video. There are 59 of us in the chat, so please show some love to these gems, or for these gems. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to say it one more time. Listen, this little community is going to grow. We're going to be, I'm going to manifest it. We're going to be at least 50,000 strong. And the reason why I say 50,000, because if 50,000 people subscribe, we know 50,000 people are not going to be active. Let's just take a fraction of that. So let's just say 12,500 will be active. That is a beautiful community by the end of the year, where we don't have to be in this alone. We don't have to lean on just our knowledge to get things done. We will have the expertise of other people. I am going to have someone, a guest next week on, is it next week? Of course, the week after. But again, we're talking about ways, creative ways to stay ahead of this, financial ways to stay ahead of this. And we're going to bring back Sonia Unapologetic, who's going to talk about what she has going on now. Her little break in Mexico was all she needed to fuel her fire to get back to what she loves. And so I'm super happy about not only just talking about the bad, but also the good, because there's the bad and there's the good, and getting in community, getting back together as community is good. There's going to be some treacherous times ahead. We're going to see some ugly things on the media. It's all intentional. It's a lot of it, most of it's propaganda, and that's fear mongering. But I also believe if we stay in community, and if we stay in whatever community, like, listen, I'm all about going where I feel appreciated, not where I'm tolerated. So if one community doesn't work for you, move on to the next, have a plethora of communities. I'm also part of Dr. Carr's community narrative. And so narrative with a K. I'm part of quite a few communities. I have financial communities. I have accountability communities. I have cultural communities. Child, I believe in community. And so, and it helps me. And like I said, I do this because I love it, not because I have to. And that's not being cocky or anything. My ass worked a lot of years at a very high level to be able to say that, right? And who knows? Listen, I still, listen, my money's invested and in banks, and, so God willing, we'll be okay with that. But as of this point, I have no worries, no stresses, and I make time for people who need time, because I know there's people that need accountability. I need accountability. And so I appreciate everyone for spending time with us on this Saturday for the past hour and a half, or hour 33 and a half minutes. Are the Resonate Guys links still being updated? So the links don't need to be updated. I don't know what, I don't understand your question. The links, like I said, I could tell you exactly what is in the guide, but you can look that up too. So I really don't want to, waste people's time, but you can, it's an informational guide. It tells you exactly the process of residency from a financial solvency perspective. There was a thing called naturalization or the R&E program, but that's no longer available. The links are to direct consulates to get all of your information. There's more links to other resources to help you through the process. And so those links are still active. So I'm not sure what your question is. EBAD. Maybe I'm missing something. And if I am, let me know. You're welcome, Ace. Anita, well, AC Anita Creations. I appreciate you all. Yeah, the resources are still the resources. Yeah. So you're good. Anyone who gets it is good. If they find that, a link is not working, not because of my end, let me know, and I'll definitely figure out the problem. Now, things change in Mexico, right? But the links are to the those ain't changing. Those are not changing. Late to the, okay. I think I got everybody. So thank you all. Thank you, one, for joining today. I truly appreciate this time. I am now going to contact my contractor. He has to pick up some more materials today, and I look forward to seeing everyone. Didn't I say I was going to share part of Kamala? If you want to see part of Kamala's warning from 2016 that I was present for, stick around. If you don't, thank you so much for joining. We're back tomorrow at, what time was that, y'all? I showed it. Oh, my memory. Is it 8 p.m. Eastern Standard? I think tomorrow's 8 p.m. Tuesday is 10 p.m. and Wednesday is 9 p.m. And that will complete the 7 days. But again, I stay connected to a higher source, and I'm sure we'll go on. I just don't know how many consecutive days. Because I am, like I said, I'm supposed to go to Charleston. There's some other things happening. Maybe I'll go live from the museum. That's what I'll do. It may not be one of these stay readies, but it may be something cute. Okay, so let me try to pull up this. It was a great time, y'all. And if I would have put more, thought into what she was saying then. Okay, here we go. If I would have put more thought into what she was saying then. Oh, I hope I can share this. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna see. Will it pick up? Hold on. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Oh. You know what? I could play the audio. It's not gonna let me because I don't have Facebook, and I just pulled it. Ooh. Oh, you know where I could find it? Hold on. If y'all give me a second. And I'm gonna, go ahead and like this video if you haven't liked it already. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and turn on notifications. And if I could see the visual here, because I downloaded it. So, yep, I'll be able to find it. I'll be able to get it, y'all. I just couldn't show it from Facebook. And so I need to show it from, here we go. Boop, boop. Devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. So remove tab, share screen. Select the tab to share. Okay, you know what? I may have to just play the audio for now. And then, like I said, I'm going to play, it's only probably like 12 to 15 minutes. I can't remember, but I'm going to share it on my page, starting probably later today.
People want to believe in the best of who we can be. Absolute unfairness where white collar versus other kinds of crimes does not, this is what I say. People commit white collar crimes, they should be prepared to bring their toothbrush and spend as much time behind bars as anybody else. Yeah. That's the way he spent his time in solitary. He spent his time in solitary better than most of us live. Yeah.
Okay. I found it. There are a lot of. So listen. Give me a second. I found it. I found how to share
of
it.
their government, its institutions.
I was not going to give up.
And
so
when we have a justice system that does not met out justice equally, that is the beginning of a real downward slope. And so it's a statement about what we need to do to restore concepts of justice in this country. And it is a statement about the fact that we must be vigilant and speaking loudly whenever we see these injustices occur.
Okay, so I found out how to share it, y'all. I just had to do a video file instead of the screen share. So give me 1 second for anyone who wants to stay. I'm about to play it right now. Okay, so present video file. Un momento, por favor. I'm so happy y'all stuck. Whoever's staying around is staying around. I appreciate it. This was definitely a well-needed conversation today, because I still think that too many people believe that things ain't about to happen the way they
want to believe in the best of who we can be. People are prepared to work for us to be the best that we can be, but we have got to lift people up, and that's what real leadership does. It's not about breaking people down and beating people up. It's about lifting people up. So with that, I thank you, and I'm here to answer some questions. All right.
What do you think about Judge Ellis's decision?
That's important.
All right, we got time for 1 or 2 questions. Anybody?
Any comment about the only 20,000 new jobs instead of the 180,000 expected? It's the start of the Trump government.
What we have seen continuously is broken promises by this president. He talks about that he came in office on a promise that he was going to lift people up. And instead, what did he do? He passed a tax bill that's going to give us a $1 trillion deficit. And that was helping the top 1% and the biggest corporations in America. He did not speak the truth. He is trying to divide us as a country, sow hate and division among us. He wants to put billions of dollars into a vanity project called a wall, instead of focusing on things like what we need around our children, around public education, around supporting teachers, around taking care of folks' health care and access for all.
So I'm going to stop it there, because I'm going to post more of that. This was actually in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, at a place called Big Mike's. I think it's Big Mike's. It's something Mike's. It's a Black-owned restaurant. And so this was way back in 2016. And so, again, there's so many gems that she drops that are literally coming to fruition right now. She just talked about it. He's trying to, the division is clear, right? And shoot, the wall seemed very mild compared to what is actually happening. And then the deficit, and then the protecting the wealthy, all of these things she was calling out back in 2016. And many of us, first of all, many of us didn't think that he would be back in office, but we didn't dig deeper to see these agendas that had already been designed, right? These blueprints that have already been designed. So again, I'm going to post clips from that conversation to remind people that, you know, we should have been listened. We should have been listened, but you don't know what you don't know. And when you know better, you do better. And so that's where we stand today. And there's just one more thing. If I can share it, I'm going to share this, because I think a lot of times we forget how to maintain peace in our lives. And so if I can pull this up, hopefully, I did so much downloading. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure we all stay okay. And you know what? I don't want to waste any more time, but I'll just read what it says. I want us to, I'm going to try one more time to share it, y'all. Oh, I'm going to try one more time because it's right here, but it's not picking up. Is that a different type of file? It's not a video file. Oh, maybe it's slide. That's what it is. Let's see. My computer. Okay, it's not sharing. So I'll read what it says because I want us all to take this as we enter into this new week, as we try to keep our mindset in a place of peace. And it's something that's so simple that many times we often forget to do. But I am going to ask you to ask God to grant you the serenity to accept the change, to accept the things you cannot change, and the courage to change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So this is a prayer that many of us have heard associated with Alcoholics Anonymous and other addictive type behaviors, but this is, I think, a prayer that we all need to carry with us daily in the future, because we can get caught up in this news cycle and we could get so drained by things that we cannot affect. We can't do nothing about the damn BBB being signed. We can't do nothing right now, right? So when you ask God to grant you the serenity to accept the things you cannot change, like say it out loud as often as you need to, but also understanding that we want the courage to change the things that you can, right? So if you have a fear about moving to another country temporarily or permanently, if you have a fear of at least applying for those residencies, ask God to give you courage, because those are things you can change. But you also need to have the wisdom to know the difference between the two. And so I just wanted to leave you guys with that, because it helps me, because I may come here and talk about these things like it doesn't bother me, but it does. And I worry more about the next generation and the generation before them. I mean, after them, because they are not used to what's about to go down. And they're not thinking about it in mass numbers. And so I know who I can change to think more about that. I know what I can do to try to help people plan better. But I also know there will be people that I love dearly that will not listen to a damn thing I have to say. And so I ask God for the peace and serenity to help me accept that when those times come. And so again, I just wanted to share that with you. And then we'll be back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so what do I think about the guy who won the Democratic? I think everything is a mirage right now. I think there's going to be some ugliness that they're going to do to him, in the sense they want to incite some things that I can't say here. I think he has big dreams. There's no way he's going to get around this BBB. I think there's some diabolical and sinister things happening to make us pay attention to certain things. He's part of that. And yeah. You're welcome for the reminders. Yes, Jackie's Journey. We're so happy. And if they do, it will be in the most ugly and vile way and method that you can imagine. We're about to enter some dark times. And so, yeah. We're about to enter some dark times. And do I trust elections? I wouldn't be surprised if the person who's already mayor somehow magically becomes mayor again when nobody wants him to be, because he's now an agent, right? And so, anywho, it's an hour and 50 minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for at least staying here to, if rather it's for motivation, inspiration, celebration, whatever it is, I thank you for staying. And if you have any wins to share, always please put them in the chat. Please put them in the chat, because there's very few things I love more than celebrating the people in our community. Very few things. And so again, I will see everyone tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good Sunday, y'all. And say that serenity prayer.